Hello, welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time we met, then hi! My name is Anggi, and in this video, I want to talk about the 5 life lessons that I got from living $1 a day. So let's just jump right in. Before I jump into the first lesson, I want to give you some context. So, I live $1 a day in my uni life. At a time, I was in my early 20s and I took undergraduate program in my university. And how did I end up living $1 a day at that time? Well, it was because it was a rough time. My father goes into the bankruptcy and I need to survive by myself. That's why this 5 life lesson, it's really a life lesson that I learned and I still got the lesson until now. Okay, we're done with the context and let's go to the first lesson. Okay, the first lesson I learned from that situation, $1 a day situation, is a fact that any budget can work. My situation at that time really teach me that I never imagined that I can live $1 a day, but turn out if you have no other choice, it can work. It's not fun, I'm not gonna lie, but it works and I survive. At first, I really sad with my situation. I thought it's just no way I can survive this situation. God is so unfair, blah, blah, blah. But once I can get myself together and really learn about the situation, I can tweak my brain into dealing with the situation on how I can survive and still do my study at a time. I'm not gonna spend too long in this first lesson. Okay, let's just jump into the second lesson. And the lesson is always prepare for the rainy days. That's why we need emergency fund. This is really the backstory why I am such a firm believer of the importance of emergency fund. Because it really saved my life at a time. So before I got this situation, $1 a day, I kind of I live pretty well with my parents in my childhood and I don't really know how to deal with money. Okay, my mom doesn't really teach me about money. If you want to learn the money mistake I learned from my parents, go to this video. I already made the video and you will learn what kind of message about money that my mom gave me. It really doesn't help my situation. Once I learned my lesson that living $1 is not fun and sometimes money do not coming in just as I expected. I know that when money coming into my bank account, I always assume that just in case something bad happen, I have something in my hand because living $1 a day is pretty rough and I learned that you only count yourself, nobody gonna come to help you. Okay, we are a big girl, I am a big girl at the time, I need to take care of myself. That's why emergency fund is such a safer. Now jump to the third lesson. Life happen for you, not to you. I say it again. Life happen for you, not to you. Let me explain. Sometimes in the hard situation, we put ourselves in the victim mode. And when we are in the victim mode, we think that life is kind of a bad guy who come to your life and make you suffer. But that's really not the case. I do believe whatever situation that we are dealing with, it is very important to set your mindset right. And the best way to deal with any situation, no matter how hard it is set a positive mindset that you realize life is happening for you. There is something that life is trying to teach you, is trying to tell you, and you only can learn the lesson if you listen. After I gather myself together, I can learn maybe 2 things at least from this situation that life is happening for me. What is life trying to tell me? There are 2 lessons that I gather from the situation. The first one is a fact that life is my responsibility. My life is my responsibility. So I took a full responsibility on any situation that I deal with my life. Once I take full responsibility with my life, I can switch my brain from focusing to the problem that I live $1 a day, someone need to help me, somebody help me, that kind of mindset, into what's the solution. Okay, I live $1 a day, but now how do I do about it? It's really a game changer, changing your mindset from focusing to the problem into the solution. The second realization I learned is do not cut corner, aka do not find an instant solution for your problem. Have you ever find someone in your life like maybe dealing with a hard situation and they just cut corner? Let's say a friend of mine got a difficult task from the university, and what they're doing, not learning about how to deal with the lesson so that they can do the homework, but they find, let's say, a smart guy they can date with, and then let that smart guy do the homework for them. You know, that kind of cut corner. When I was in university, I see a lot of that kind of fact, and I promised myself I don't want to be that kind of girl. Talking about my difficulties around money at that time, well, I remember at that time there was a guy, a boy who pretty rich. I mean, he has a rich parents and he got a car, blah blah blah. And he's kind of like he likes me. He want to date with me. But the problem is the way he approached me is like you know, when you're living $1 a day, then I'm gonna wear like not the best clothes, I would say. And maybe people can see my financial situation from the way I wear, right, from my clothes. And this guy is like approaching me with this kind of attitude. Hey Angie, do you want to go to this restaurant? Hey, do you want to go to the movie? I'm gonna pay for the ticket. Do you heard there is a new restaurant over there? Do you want to come with me? We can go this weekend. You know, that kind of attitude. I just feel like he's kind of like, hey, you know, poor girl, I'm a rich guy. If you're dating me, then you can pretend to be someone rich if you are dating me, you know, that kind of situation. It's really like slap me in the face, quote unquote, and really give me like a huge realization that, whoa, Angie, calm down. Oh my God, a guy approaching you, and because you're poor, he is trying like to buy my heart, my love, the way I feel for him. That sucks. Well, I refuse him in the polite way as I can at that time. It doesn't matter, but that situation really teach me about how to be strong for yourself and really do the best for yourself. As I said before, right? Take full responsibility about your life. Do not cut corner. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be difficult. It's not fun, but it's gonna be worth it, because the lesson that I learned from that situation stuck with me until now and really make me become a very strong woman. Now, let's go to the next lesson, the fourth lesson. Remember what I said, that we need to focus to the solution, not the problem? When I decide to focus to the solution, I become more creative on how to deal with my situation at that time. And my situation at that time is because I'm living $1 a day, I barely survive. I need to really find a creative way when I'm dealing with my bills, such as when I need to pay for my university or when I need to pay my rent. So this experience really teach me on how to be creative to find a way to make money and also negotiate on any bills that come to me. These two skills, be creative and negotiate on any bills that coming around, is really come in handy in my life nowadays. So living $1 a day is not that bad, right? If you can learn the lesson. Now let's go to the lesson number 5. Okay, the fifth lesson is gonna be sound so counterintuitive with this situation that I'm dealing at that time. The lesson is be generous. What? Angie, hello, you live $1 a day and you tell me that you learned to be generous at a time? Believe it or not, yes, I did. If I may guess, you may be asked, okay, listen up, Angie, how do we can be generous when we live only $1 a day? And also, why do we need to be generous? I will answer your question. Let's start with the why. Why do we need to be generous? I personally believe when you are giving something to someone else, a value, those good things is gonna be adds up and get back to you. I believe that's just the way life works. And how do I be generous when I was only living $1 a day? Well, here's the thing, be generous. I learned at a time because I lack of money and I know like I'm trying to I was a bit desperate at that time, and I wish that God can help me, that sort of thinking in my head. So I think like I need to be a good person so that God will somehow helping me with my situation. And I know be generous is always coming back to you. I always believe that. My granny always teach me that. My father always teach me that. So I try to be generous in my situation at that time, because sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, dealing with that harsh $1 a day situation is really stressful, and sometimes I feel depressed. So I try to be generous, so that I hope that kindness is gonna coming back to me. The problem is I lack of money. I barely survive, right? I do not have any money. So at that time, I learned that be generous turn out, it doesn't mean that you have lots of money. That situation teach me that I can be generous even though I have no money. I can be generous with my time. I can be generous with my knowledge. And sometimes that realization really goes a long way. And that's practically what I'm doing in my day-to-day life at a time. Well, until now actually, I try to be generous with my time and my knowledge, because before I know it at a time, because I try to be generous to other people, opportunity comes to me, and sometimes I do not even ask for it. I do not try to find the opportunity. Some people might call it like, let's say, oh, it's just like coincidence, good things happen to me. Yeah, that's one thing. But I do believe your generosity really, as I said, right, those little good things that add up and come back to you. Come back to you sometimes, not in the terms of someone coming to you and give you some money, but really like life kind of give you the opportunity to solve your problem. So, be generous. Before I close this video, on the bottom line, okay, do I hate living $1 a day? Absolutely. Nobody happy living $1 a day, I'm not gonna lie. Is that the worst thing that happened to me, living $1 a day? I would say to you, not at all. That $1 a day situation for maybe 1 until 2 years is the best thing that ever happened with my life, because that situation really teach me to be independent, to be thoughtful, to take life seriously, because I take full responsibility about my life. And those whole thing, those life lesson really helped me become a very strong woman I am today. So how about you? What is your worst situation that teach you about life, that the lesson is stuck with you until today? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, okay? I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!